The Bayelsa State Gubernatorial Petition Tribunal has nullified the election of Governor Duoye Diri of Bayelsa State. The election was nullified based on a petition by the Advanced Nigeria Democratic Party, which argued that it was unlawfully excluded from participating in the election. The tribunal ruling can, however, still be challenged at the appeal court. More details on the tribunal's Monday ruling will be provided in subsequent updates. Monday's ruling comes 2 days after the tribunal dismissed 3 other petitions against the election of Mr. Diri of the People's Democratic Party. Premium Times reported how the 3-member tribunal dismissed the 3 petitions filed by separate parties on Saturday. Okay. The Bayelsa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Abuja on Saturday, dismissed 3 petitions against Duoye Diri of the People's Democratic Party and affirmed him the duly elected governor of the state. The petitions dismissed by the tribunal were filed by the Alliance for Democracy AD, the United People's Congress UPC, and the Liberation Movement LM. Premium Times reported how the Supreme Court on February 13th sacked David Leon of the All Progressives Congress APC as the governor-elect barely 24 hours to his inauguration. The Apex Court based its ruling on the premise that his deputy, Rakuma Degi Iremioye, presented false information to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to aid of his qualification for the November 16 governorship election in the state. The Apex Court then ordered INEC to declare the party with the highest number of lawful votes and geographical spread the winner of the election. Mr. Diri was later sworn in as governor. In a unanimous decision on Saturday, a 3-member panel of the tribunal dismissed 3 petitions challenging Mr. Diri's victory. The judge, S.M. Owoduni, who read the lead judgment of the tribunal, held that the petition filed by AD and its candidate, Owe Woniwe, is incompetent and lacks merit. Justice Owoduni held that the petitioners failed to prove the allegation that Mr. Diri's deputy, Lawrence Irujakpo, forged his declaration of age and National Youth Service Corps (NYC) discharge certificates. The second petition filed by Ibiene Stephen and his party UPC and the one filed by the candidates of the Liberation Movement, Vija Okwama, were also dismissed. Mr. Okwama had filed his petition to challenge the declaration of Mr. Diri and Irujakpo as governor and deputy. He also alleged that Mr. Irujakpo submitted forged exemption certificates and documents that contain false information to INEC. He is asking the tribunal to cancel the election and order a fresh poll. So guys, there is nothing we are not going to be hearing in this country. You can imagine, instead of us to focus on good governance, it is always election, malpractice election, this, who is qualified, who is not qualified, because we are not systemic. We don't do things rightly. That is why what we ought to have done from the beginning, everybody just feels that, oh, I will get away with it, I will get with it. I'm just talking generally, I'm not even talking on this, but it shows that we are not prepared person, we are not detailed people, we are not deep thinker people, and that's why you see that a lot of things are just going back and forth. Election, if really if everything goes the way they ought to go, we are not going to be having this problem. Another problem is that even when some elections are even, they try to let people take it the way it is by the Supreme Court or Appeal Court or whatever, you still see that people who are saddled with the responsibility of doing what they have been elected to do, they will not still do it. That is what they will just be going back and forth and be arguing here and there. Good governance, you can't even get it. The ones that have been settled that, okay, you just continue, whether the people like it or not, let them continue with good governance. No, it's business as usual. Because if we do things in accordingly, we will not be having all this problem. And lawyers will be going back and forth, court here and there. Things that we are supposed to settle as some, once and for all. They will not tell you, this and this, adjournment. And even when you go to court, when you talk about corruption, it's still the same thing. It is the same thing. Things that will benefit the masses, even if it's going to get to court, you will now find out that majority of the people who are languishing in what is it called, in the prison, it is as a result of all these things that we are not supposed to be talking about. Those ones will occupy all those, they will occupy the court, and people who are even innocent that are being thrown into detention or whatever, they will be there, and they will be telling you there's no time because they are dealing with all this kind of a thing. Well, they can go to court and appeal it, but as it is now, the tribunal nullifies the Bayelsa governorship election. Of course, you know the reason why they have done that, from what we've talked about. Okay, we are becoming too irresponsible in this country. How many members make up this party that is seeking judgment? The tribunal should go out of its way to consider what is good for the society. An elected governor will take almost the entire tenure trying to settle down because of frivolous petitions. Nigeria, please wake up. That is it. Frivolous, whatever. No, but at least even if this thing, but that does not, it's not even talking about a APC or whatever, because that one is that is a already settled case. That case is already settled. So now this one is a different thing. Whether some people are not supposed to do this, or some people are not supposed to do this, or some people are not supposed to, they are not qualified to contest for the election, because we are not systemic people. What is wrong with all these people shouting here and there? I'm just passing. Grab this news. Okay. May God forgive you people for doing this to the masses. I no longer understand what is going on in this country. It looks unrealistic. That is why people say it is not true. Those okay. Another one is saying, everybody just saying, oh, they can't believe this. I can't believe this. APC next level. Leon for Governor Bayelsa voted for you. They will still do what? They are still waiting for your return. Okay, after Supreme Court judgment, the tribunal judges ought to be sanctioned. If at all is true, how can tribunal nullify last year election on the ground of INEC inability to include a party in the election without heavily fines INEC? They were not included and they were supposed to include it. So now meaning that they are going to cancel the whole election and include some people and study whatever. It's waste of resources and all of that. Why would they do that? So honestly, guys, this country is something else. This country is something else. So let's hear your opinion. Leave your comments below and let's have your take on this issue. Thank you.